How you doing, jerk-offs? We are back for another week of the Union Jack-Off podcast. It is me, Daniel Muggleton. Hello, I hope you're well. It is the summertime. It's Edinburgh preview season. Anybody who's come to check out any of my previews live around the UK, I really appreciate that. The last few are happening in the next couple of weeks. One in Brighton this Sunday at 5 p.m. at the Artista Cafe and Gallery. That is the 14th of July. If you're in Brighton, and the next one, I have another with former podcast guest Liuso Gola on the 22nd in Birmingham. That's right, my Midlands people getting a little shout out there. Now, before I get into this week's guest, I just want to respond to some of the questions from last week's episode. A few people have gotten in touch on Twitter at the Union Jackoff, talking about the canals. In the start of last episode, Superfan Dash, the man who's been with us from the very beginning, got involved saying that the canal I was describing is called the Regent's Canal. And I've looked that up, and he is absolutely right. And the Regent's Canal is not actually that long, because I do know this about English canals. They were used as like a source of trade before these wannabes, these no-hopers trying to live in London even though they live on a boat. Ridiculous, unacceptable. They were used by merchants back in the day. They're actually useful. And the Regent's Canal is actually a bit of a short one. Dash said it ended in Stratford, and he was absolutely right, but he doesn't know which way it goes on the other end. But I did a little bit of research for you, and apparently the Regent's Canal, it's only a little fella. It's only 8.6 miles or 13.8 kilometers if you're living in the present time. So it's not too long, but it links up with the Thames, the mighty Thames, which separates North and South London and has ended many casual relationships, as far as I'm aware, with people unwilling to cross the river. But it also links up with the Grand Union Canal. And this is what I was talking about when I said these things were big. It has 166 locks, which are those things I was describing, which brings the water up and down and kind of dams different sections of the canal. And it stretches 137 miles or 220 kilometers. Again, it's 2019. Let's just work in metric. And it ends in Birmingham. So, theoretically, one of those freaks who probably owns a unicycle on the Regent's Canal could get up to the Grand Union Canal through a series of locks. They could get up there and get in through the Paddington Link and then sail the little boat up to Birmingham, where you would hope they would be able to pawn it for some kind of landlocked house, some kind of non-floating living situation. I think that is something these guys should be shooting for, and maybe one day we'll have the travel show we've all been asking for with Rob Brydon and Steve Coogan doing the really, really average trip where they go up the English canal system on a canal boat and probably end up slightly more xenophobic than when they started. Just maybe. I'm not saying people who live on a boat are necessarily xenophobic, but I assume there's some kind of link there, which is why they've taken to the water for a quick getaway to Ireland if things get a little bit too spicy. All right, that was my little shout out there. I just want to say thank you to Will Chegwidden, ridiculous English name there, Will Chegwidden, and Jake for getting in touch as well. I will talk about that next week because Jake told me about the Shrove Tide. The Shrove Tide, which is actually, let me find this for you before I get into it. It's called the Royal Shrove Tide Football, and it is an insane medieval football game that they play in Shrove Tide in Derbyshire every year. And I got to tell you, I think I've seen Facebook videos about this thing. It is utterly insane. One of the theories is that it was inspired by a execution after which a severed head was tossed into a waiting crowd. There you go. Isn't that lovely? Some uplifting British history for your Friday. All right, let's get into this week's guest. This week's guest is Joe Jacobs, comedian / rapper. Does a bit of both, still does a bit of both. I first heard his name through Sofar Sounds, which are a bunch of gigs I do in people's living rooms. They're very cool, very hip. Nobody who attends those things lives on a boat, for sure. So I heard about him there. He's the king of those, the only comedian they've ever heard of, because he does the rapping as well as the comedy. And then I met him doing the Comedy Store. We bonded, and we talked a little bit about anti-Semitism in the UK. And since then, he's written a great article for industry website Chortle called #MeJew. And basically just talks about the rise of anti-Semitism in the UK, like kind of how it's at a bit of a boiling point at the moment. And I was excited to get him on to talk about rap, because I love rap, and I'm not nearly cool enough to know anything about it. And to talk about that, the anti-Semitism that seems to have stemmed from the Labour Party. I don't know. It was definitely, when I got here, it was kind of said to me, because like, I've kind of got like this, I wouldn't say it's unusual, but I would not see the Jewish people in a negative light, and definitely not in politics in Australia. Like, I don't think they're really discussed at all. Everyone just kind of goes about their business. But over here, it seems to be a bit of an issue, and it's yet to be resolved. I've been here 18 months now, as you guys know. And has not been resolved at all. It's just kind of left to fester there, and it's a bit awkward because it's affecting the Labour Party's popularity. So I want to chat to him about that. I want to chat to him about rap. I want you guys to please find us on iTunes and give us a nice little review, 5 stars. Where everyone who's reviewed us has given us 5 stars, but we've only got 9 reviews. Guys, come on, you can do better than that. I believe in you. So let's get into it. Jerk offs, meet the very funny, very rhymey Joe Jacobs.
Are we live? Is this starting?
This is it, yeah. I feel bad. Like, I try to be 100% set up as soon as people walk in the door.
Well, this was a fucking amateur operation.
It is. But that's its charm, I think.
No, I agree.
Because it sounds professional. That's the thing. I've been told by people, it's like, man, do you have like a studio or something? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
100%
Shoeboxes.
Shoeboxes. We got art. We got flowers.
Yeah, no, it's lovely.
I
didn't mean to shit on the whole podcast 10 seconds into it.
I mean, it wasn't even 10 seconds in. It was about 6, and you just went for it.
Oh,
now you get to watch a man crack a beer on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I would love a beer. I'm driving.
You're driving. Can you have none?
Can I have a beer and a cup of tea and a fucking jar of water?
Yeah, you can, dude. It's your podcast.
Thanks.
It's your living.
Oh God, this beer is so cold. Oh man.
Is that how you got a jumper on though? What are you complaining about the heat? And I'm like, today is like the not hot one.
Listen. I like to be prepared for the weather. I'm British. I wear coats. I had a coat in the car.
Okay, like a full coat.
Yeah,
like
I got
winter.
Because I don't trust the weather here.
You should. I got burnt yesterday. I had just a t-shirt, and then I got home at like 2 from a gig, and it was just raining and cold.
There you go.
And it was like, well, you lied to me.
That's the risk you take, because you can enjoy the hot weather, sure. It's going to get nippy.
It's going to get nippy at any time.
Nippy.
It'll sneak up on you.
Oh, it's going to be nippy.
Well, that's the thing. I got to say, Australian weather it's very not sneaky.
Yeah, it's
you know like how there's like sexual predators, and some of them are like young people who are quite sneaky.
Sorry, what?
They
went from weather to
they utilize the internet and they're sneaky. Whereas like Australian weather is like you're like old man sexual predator. It's just like, I'd marry you tomorrow, and the girl's like, no, and then just kind of walks. You know what I mean? It's just entirely unsubtle.
I don't know how you got from weather to
I was talking about sneakiness.
Sneakiness of the
and
sexual predator.
I consider a sexual predator one of the sneakiest forms of person.
Yeah, they are sneaky. You get the prolific, proud sexual predator like the Jimmy Savile's. He was in plain sight.
Well,
so what kind of weather would he be? Rainbow.
A rainbow. Just a rainbow that was really sad. Like a rainbow over a battlefield, like that kind of thing.
Okay, nice.
Well, I mean, Jimmy Savile is something that English people talk about all the time, but I hate to break it to you, that outside of this country, he's nothing. He's not famous as a predator, nor
he's
a children's
infamous
entertainer. He's nothing. He's got no. I got no image in my head to this day, and I've been here a year and a half, and I've heard it. I know that he was like the biggest monster ever. But
well, I mean, you Australians gave us one of our most celebrated nonces in Rolf Harris. He's my favourite celebrity paedophile. Forget Jimmy Savile. My favourite celebrity paedophile is Rolf Harris. I followed the case every day. I liked when... I was actually following some of the articles when he was in prison. I don't know if you know this. He got in trouble for fashioning a didgeridoo out of toilet roll, and he was bothering some of his cellmates with that. That's a fact.
Fuck off.
That's true.
That is...
Google it.
He made a didgeridoo
I'll Google
out of
it
toilet
now.
roll.
Yeah.
No, I don't... Look,
All right.
I need
Fact
you...
check.
I need you to do the eye contact and be like, that actually
I'm gonna open
happened.
up this fucking beer
Yeah, this beer, bit of a punk IDA,
and drive.
punk IPA from the Brewdog.
Can I have one of these and drive?
Yeah,
5.6.
Is that fun?
I'll have half of it.
Is it small? Like, what is the drink driving thing in the UK? In Australia, you can have like two of those in like 2 hours, and you'd be sweet.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm a frail man. I can't take much booze.
Oh, you're a small man,
Skinny.
right?
Man. I haven't eaten much today either, so this will.
So this is gonna go straight to your head.
I'm gonna be fucked.
We're gonna get the real truth.
Anyway, back to Rolf.
Sure.
So Rolf Harris, he fashioned didgeridoos in his cell. That was one that was funny. He was taken into the hospital wing for an addiction to chocolate. That was another one.
Fuck. Come on.
I'm serious. And he also there was some sort of altercation in one of the chapels in the prison because someone came in and spat on him, and then he apparently hid between the pews and was moved.
He hid after the spit. He was like
hiding from the attack.
Right. I mean, I guess.
And he had he was doing an art class in the prison.
Of course, he was doing a fucking art class. You can't stop Rolf Harris creating.
It was a very disturbing court case. I remember when he was being sentenced, he went on a riverboat across the Thames.
What?
And there was a picture of it on the front of the metro.
But why did he go on the riverboat?
Because he probably knew he was going down.
Oh, it's like he was trying to run.
No, he wasn't trying to run. He was probably enjoying a last taste of freedom before sentencing along the river.
That's so weird.
It is weird.
And the media was just covering that.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys love it like tabloid, you know?
But I mean, Rolf Harris was very famous.
Was he?
Yeah, he was famous. And he was always creepy. I never trusted him. Never trust. He seemed unpleasant. He seemed like an arsehole.
Because he did the wobble board?
Yeah, fucking idiot. The wobble board. He did the wobble board. He did Animal Hospital.
What's that? What's Animal Hospital?
Animal Hospital. It's the clues in the title. It was...
Been a real villain on this podcast so far, Joe Jacobs. All right.
Animal Hospital was like a tea time show about... He'd be in a vet's office showing animals getting operations and stuff. It was really boring, but it had a really good theme tune.
But he's not qualified in any way as a vet or anything, is he?
No.
He's a painter and musician. That was his thing, right?
Yeah,
He didn't have anything else.
No.
But he was kind of like...
Got him far enough.
Yeah, I mean, he's done very well with what he had. He's like the fucking MacGyver of talent. He's done well.
Yeah. Painted the Queen.
Yeah. But he was like the kind of first wave of like Australian celebrities over here, right? It was like him and like Jermaine Greer and shit.
Yeah, and he made quite an impact, Rolf.
Yeah.
Especially in his later years.
Yeah. Jeez. It's funny that like, I think... Wait, is he in prison in Australia?
No, he was in prison in England, and now he's out. He's back on the streets.
Is he?
Uh-huh.
No way.
Yeah, he's back. He served I think he got 7 years, and he served maybe 4.
So he's just around now.
He's about, yeah. He's about. There's been pictures of him, because I still search every now and again and see what he's up to. Oh yeah, that's another thing he did. He was writing songs from prison, and he sent them to someone. And he was actually under the impression that the public would be interested in hearing his musical output post-release, which you got to admire the ego of the man. And the songs were pretty offensive to the victims.
This is like about... He did like the Christmas album, but about pedophilia, essentially. Like
he wasn't
themed.
It wasn't songs about pedophilia, but he was kind of trying to say that the victims were wrong, and he's right. He's Rolf.
Oh,
it's a good start to this podcast. It was really.
I mean, it's on theme. Like we're talking about an Australian person in the UK.
Yeah.
This could not be
right. Yeah,
bang down the middle. But I mean, it's sad, but
I think the Rolf Harris fall from grace got to be the most spectacular one I can remember.
Whatever?
I think it was pretty out there. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we had...
'Cause he was very... In the 90s, he was pretty famous.
Yeah,
he was
I mean, we had a priest in Australia just went down, like a cardinal. He was
Pell.
like, yeah, Pell.
Yeah, I know about all the nonces worldwide. I keep up to date. I watch pedo sting videos on YouTube.
Like To Catch a Predator, but like the amateur version.
Yeah. No, there are loads of them. I've just found the Scottish division. It's fucking amazing.
Why do you spend your time doing this?
I just have them on in the background when I'm at work.
What workplace is fine with that? Oh, that's Joey watches the pedophile.
They're not fine with it. They just keep it on in the background, have a listen. I mean, it's very repetitive. It's just people saying, "I didn't do nothing. I'm not a pedo." That's it for 40 minutes. But it's quite.
I like that the accents really vary.
Yeah.
I didn't do nothing. I'm not a pedo. A pedo.
Yeah.
Okay. So
let's not talk about pedophiles anymore.
I mean, I'm fine to leave.
But yeah, I watched the Pell.
Bring it up.
I watched the Pell thing. I saw him talking about that. I couldn't quite... I was going to read a book about all that stuff. I can't figure out... Some people think he didn't do anything. I didn't follow all the evidence. Was he caught out and very guilty or what?
Yeah, I mean, basically, it seemed like it was older stuff. Like, it wasn't like particularly recent. But like he was explicitly involved himself, and then there was kind of character stuff about how he'd clearly covered it up since then for other people. Like he had like a very direct hand in allowing pedophile priests to continue, and yeah, so therefore he was responsible, like with knowledge. So he was responsible for what happened to the people.
What did he get? 9 years or something?
Yeah, like not like super long sentences, but what are people expecting, like life? Like it doesn't work like that, Like
it does in America, you get heavy pedo sentences there. In England, you get fucking nothing.
But like, you got to go the stuff he did versus his role in the community, like his age, like all that shit. Like
Right.
All these things are factored in. I went to law school, mate. I can speak very confidently from a place of ignorance when the law is involved. I'd be like, yeah, of course it's that, and just be lying.
Yeah. Thing with Rolf, though, back to Rolf. He didn't admit guilt.
At any stage?
Yeah, no. That's why it went all out, and he played down everything in his involvement and everything. He said he was innocent, so they just threw the book at him. If he'd have put his hands up at the noncing, he might have got a lenient sentence, but it wouldn't have changed the damage to his public image, which he may not come back from this.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably not doing Animal Hospital next year. Queen's probably not returning the old calls for the portrait.
No, a lot of places have removed their Rolf Harris imagery.
Was there a lot of Rolf Harris imagery going around?
It would have been a bit. He was an artist.
Up in living rooms, like,
Right, but I think hotels and places like that. Hospitals and stuff like that. They would have had a few pictures from Rolf. Probably would have opened up a few things over the years.
Really? I guess so. Hey, if you like that kind of celeb, there's a few things you need to take down.
I had a friend I still have a friend. His dad ran a charity, and they worked with Rolf Harris on something, and he told me Rolf Harris was a dick. So my thoughts were confirmed. Ainsley Harriott, lovely man. That was the verdict.
Okay.
And Ainsley Harriott went on to be very popular meme.
Good.
You know Ainsley Harriott?
I did not know Ainsley Harriott.
Oh man, you're missing out.
Dude, you were giving me some like heavy British off the bat here.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like, I feel under-researched despite living here.
Okay, well, yeah, I gave you some good Rolf info.
I enjoy that, but who is Ainsley Harris?
He's a celebrity chef that is a popular meme. He's very famous now. He's he's just very memey man.
Okay, and what's he meme for? Like, not, I hope, Rolf Harris related.
No. He has, at the time of recording, he is innocent of any crime, but he was a really good chef, and he was just a popular TV personality. But the internet has latched onto some of his old clips and kind of given them new life, and he's in a lot of memes.
That's a very funny thing about the internet. Hey, how it's like something that was never that popular, the internet will find for like a comical purpose and then make it more popular than you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, usually without the person's permission. Like the exhibit meme. Did you remember that?
Yeah.
He hated that shit.
Did he hate it?
Yeah, he hated it.
I thought he would have loved it.
No, he didn't understand it, and that made it better.
Because I've loved Exhibit from way back. I'm a big Exhibit fan.
Yeah.
And his.
I was
and
just like the name
Exhibit?
of the rapper.
X to the Z Exhibit.
Exhibit. One of the worst rap names probably going.
Yeah, that's a bad rap name.
Terrible.
What about
Exhibit?
What about English rap names? English rap names are very like.
Yeah, but we're newer. Hip hop is newer here.
But you guys like.
Who's got a bad English rap name?
Like Stormzy? That's a bad name. Like
Nah,
I like
that name.
Stormzy.
I like that name.
But hey, what's your rap name, dude? Stormzy.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
Like,
Well, what about Exhibit? What's your rap name? Exhibit, like an exhibit, but with an X. That's fucking shit.
But he spells it very differently. X to the Z Exhibit. So it's like XZIBIT.
I know how it's spelled. It's fucking dumb.
There's no H in there. If there was an H in there, that would be dumb.
I think exhibit spelt properly would be a better name.
I mean, in fairness,
like a museum exhibit.
I'm now going through rap names in my head.
A museum exhibit. That's kind of interesting as a rap name because you think, okay, like an exhibit.
What,
like art?
What
I'm doing is art. It's an exhibit.
But that's what he's done. He's just put his personal touch on it. Like he's just changed the language, a bit of slang. Like Quentin Tarantino and Glorious Bastards. Like he spelled bastards incorrectly.
I think a good rap name. I think a lot of comedians have good rap names. Like their own name is a good rap name.
Who's got a good rap name as a comedian?
Michael McIntyre.
Would
be a good rap name. Yeah.
Mike
McIntyre. That's kind of cool.
Wasn't there already a rapper's name was Mac Miller? I'm thinking,
right,
which is close to
yeah.
Michael. I think Mac Miller's like the rap version of Michael McIntyre.
Yeah, maybe.
Like,
no, he's not. What are you saying?
No, but just like that's like that version rapified. If that's like a, you know,
a lot of rappers use their own names now instead of rap names, like Dave, the rapper Dave.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I didn't know who that is until the Alex from Glasto thing went wild. Yeah. I didn't know who Dave was. I thought he was a channel. I didn't realize he was also
a channel
a rapper.
and a rapper.
I think that's like a very. In England, a lot of things are called Dave.
Yeah.
And you're fine with it.
My dad's called Dave.
There's no consistency in it. Your dad is neither a rapper nor a TV channel.
No.
Yet he's still a Dave.
Yeah, there's a lot of Daves about. Dave's a good name. You don't get babies called Dave anymore.
Yeah, baby's called David. Yeah.
I've never seen a baby called Dave.
I mean, everyone's trying too hard on their baby names. They're trying to come up with like rap names for like their babies. Like they're going in deep.
Really?
Like a kid in London, I heard rhubarb. And
Fuck
the parents
off.
are short. Yeah, swear to God, and they were shortening it to Roo. I live in Shoreditch, dude. I hear every hipster name.
There's a kid called Rhubarb.
Yeah, running around. His parents like Roo, and then like they got serious, like rhubarb, and it's like get the fuck out of here.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, in the street. That was a genuine thing.
Fuck.
Over a year ago. Still remember, clear as day.
That's fucking bad.
It's not great.
Rhubarb.
It's not good.
Was it a boy or a girl? Boy.
I don't know.
It's kind of unisex, I guess. Rhubarb.
That's like, I think, a funny... With like the hipster names where they kind of name them after like stuff. Most of them are genderless, which is actually very progressive. Like they're not doing it for that reason. But I think if you're growing up and you're like, my name's Rhubarb, and they're like, Rhubarb, you're a man. You got to be a man. Rhubarb be like, why? Like, there's no men in the past called Rhubarb. I'm like copying.
Lucky for Rhubarb, we are going into a more progressive society because a name like Rhubarb when I was growing up would have been battered.
Absolutely. I mean, I hope it still is.
No,
like, I don't want that kid to have an easy time.
Yeah.
I don't want the parents to feel okay with their decision.
Man, Rhubarb. That's crazy.
Wait, you were talking about rap names. You do rap stuff. I know this because we do these Sofar Sounds gigs.
Yeah.
Did you?
Man. Sofar Sounds.
Do you like the Sofar Sounds?
Well, it's not good for my credibility, but then my credibility left a long time ago in the rap world. I just do whatever.
Oh, right. So Sofar Sounds, no cred.
Actually, maybe it. I don't even know. Or like, actually, no. I'm shitting on Sofar Sounds. Please keep booking me for them. I realised.
Well, to explain to people who don't know what Sofar Sounds is, what is it? Give them the breakdown.
Well, sometimes it's gigs usually without a PA system in a house or in a office or somewhere like that. Where else have they been? In a fire station and shit.
Been in a brewery.
I did.
I've done the fire station. Yeah.
Fire station, like agencies and shit.
Yeah, then they're kind of like underground. They're like unlisted. You get the location.
Yeah.
Last minute,
and they always sell out. and they've started putting on comedians, and I've tried to tell them that's a bad idea because comedians, they don't have much respect for events. They're not like musicians. Comedians will ruin things just by the nature of what we do. Like,
you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think it's a bad move? Because I've really enjoyed doing them as a comedian. It's made me be like, I should open for a band. That would be cool.
Maybe
Nice.
Maybe I just don't want any comedians taking my gigs with them.
Yeah, you're like worried about your little racket. Because I come in and everyone's like, wait, you're a comedian like Joe Jacobs.
Really?
Yeah. Like
well, what I like selling my records afterwards because I do music with stand-up. And then afterwards I sell my records and I make money. But what I mean, it's like what I've noticed is because I'm kind of older than the crowd there, and the bands are usually kind of kids basically a lot of the time or youngsters. When they sell their merchandise after the show, they're very proud. They don't want to really put themselves out. They'll hang at the back and wait for someone to come to them. But me, I'm a comedian, so I'm desperate.
Sure.
So I'll fucking go through every person in there and ask them if they want some content. And I have a card machine,
A card machine?
Yeah.
Oh, so you just have it with you and they just tap. And you give them like a
so
USB
they say, oh, I don't have any money. And I say, yeah, I got a card machine. Pay up, fuckers.
So what, do you have a USB? Do you have a CD?
I got a USB. I don't have any CDs at the moment. I've got a record. And for the Fringe, I'm working on a cassette tape. 50 for the Fringe only.
Like a tape?
A cassette tape, yeah, with my new EP.
But who's gonna be able to play it? Who's got a tape deck?
That's their problem.
You are baiting hipsters like me with that fucking tape.
It'll have a digital download code. But it will look good because the tape has got good artwork and it's called State of the Art and it's a tape, so it's a nice thing to own.
Okay, right.
If you want to support what I do, you can buy it.
So there's like a digital thing so they can actually listen to it.
Yeah.
Tape to be like, this is cool. Yeah. Let's take that with me.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
so I've got records, tapes, USB. But the USB has an old show on it, but I think as a piece of merchandise, a USB card is kind of shit. It's already out of date.
Yeah.
They're not cool.
No, I mean, I like those...
a cassette tape is cool.
A cassette tape is cool. And a USB, I don't think can ever be cool.
No.
Even if it's like 50 years in the future, we're still like, that's still lame. It's like a mini disc has never come back.
Yeah, mini discs are cool, but
that's just an obsolete piece of technology. It always will be. It never should have happened.
I had a mini disc player. I bought mini disc albums. I loved my mini disc player, but it was definitely a piece of shit. Definitely. They were fucking stupid mini disc players.
I was the dumb guy who when Apple was like kind of coming up, when Apple was like the kind of new thing. Yeah. When it was like, oh, this is this cool, innovative thing. Whereas like now it's like, it's the king. It's like the McDonald's. But like back in the day, it was like, oh, this is fun. And I was like, I'm not going to go with Apple. I'm going to research my own MP3 player.
Did you get a Zune?
I got a Zen Micro.
A Zen. Is that the same thing as a Zune?
I don't know. Creative Zen Micro? That's what I got.
Right.
It was such a piece of shit. It broke within like a week and a half. And then because there was some random ass company, you just couldn't get it repaired.
Of course.
So it was just like, I'm an idiot. Then I just had to wait like a few more birthdays till I got an iPod.
Man.
Went back to the Discman. I had a Discman when I was like 17.
Loved the Discman. I mean, I was listening to CDs for a while because I used to drive around and put the CDs in the whip.
CDs in the whip? Is that because you're in rap? You got to say it's a whip. That's important.
Yeah, man. It's important that you pick me up on my slang as I use it, just to make it have full effect.
Yeah, I mean, well, you gave it emphasis. Don't say you just like said it like it was casual.
Hey,
you were like, yeah, when I ride around in the whip.
In my whip.
Yeah.
Whipping, scurrying.
Why is it called a whip? That's something I've never been able to figure out.
Maybe it's to do with horses when they whip a horse and then it goes faster. I mean, I'm just speculating. I don't know if that is the reason.
I don't know. I don't know if there's like official rap etymology out there.
There's lots of new slang coming all the time.
I mean, I know there's that, but that's like a classic whip. That's
that's never gone out. Whip.
It's never gone out.
Never gone out.
I got a theory. They just come up with the slang because they can't rhyme something. So they just come up with the slang and then they all agree, like, yeah, look, then we get another word that rhymes with that we can use for car. Like, I mean, that's like, I think that's Jay-Z's greatest thing. He's just come up with so many fucking names for himself that he can rhyme his name with pretty much anything at this point.
Yeah, Jay-Z, that's a shit rap name.
When you said bad rap names, I genuinely went through it. I'm like, I can't think of a good one.
Yeah, no.
Like, nothing's kind of like, oh, what a great rap name.
Rob Banks. That's a good rap name.
Rob Banks?
Yeah, that's a real rap name.
Is that a British?
American.
Really?
Who else has got a good rap name?
I mean, that's...
Jussalar. That's a good rap name.
Jussalar?
Jussalar.
Ah.
Jussalar. That's good.
Okay.
What else?
These are the...
MC Paul Barman. That's a good rap name.
Paul Barman.
That's his real name, though. MC Paul Barman. Who else?
Just strong.
Doom.
Just Doom.
Yeah, you know Doom,
Not
right?
MC Doom or just Doom?
MF Doom. Doom.
MF Doom, yeah.
You know Doom, right?
Maybe. Don't think so.
He's
Nothing's
good.
coming to mind.
Action Bronson's good name.
Action Bronson is a good rap name. And I like Action Bronson a lot.
Bronsolino.
I'm into that. I mean, Eminem, pretty bad rap name.
Awful. Slim Shady. Awful.
Yeah.
Terrible. D12. Awful.
Yeah, like Dr. Dre, also bad.
Dr. Dre's good.
You think Dr. Dre's good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course it's good. DR,
What
DRE.
about, What about like RZA and Jizza?
Amazing rap names. The whole Wu-Tang Clan rap names are incredible.
That was their selling point. We got the best rap names in the business.
And they
there's
did.
Like 30 of us.
Fucking amazing. Master Killer, Jizza, RZA, Raekwon, Ghostface Killer.
Yeah, I mean, Old Dirty Bastard is like...
Oh, Dirty Bastard, classic.
Oh, that's probably, for me, that's probably the best rap name. It was pretty good.
Good album, his first album too.
All right. So how'd you get... Did you rap first or comedy first?
I was rapping first from like 15, being a garage rapper. You know what garage is?
Like garage music?
Yeah.
Garage scene?
Yeah, it's because UK rap music is in a good place now and everyone takes it seriously, but when garage was around, it was a fucking joke.
So is that the start? Garage was like the start of UK rap?
I wouldn't say it's the start of UK rap. There were lots of rappers rapping, doing hip-hop around then and before, but UK garage kind of was the point when British music was beginning to form its own identity that was distinctive, I'd say.
I mean, I think if you look at music in general, the UK is like the world leader in terms of musical content, I think. I think you produce the best bands and the most of them.
Yeah, they do good. They do good.
So like rap, I mean, I think it makes sense in my head that you guys eventually came for rap as well and have done quite well with it.
But rap, it took a long time because rap is a very American thing. Yeah. And it was hard to be taken seriously as a rapper in England because rap is so American just because it's all about too much. You know? This emphasis on excess. Whereas in England, like, to be proud about stuff like that is very much frowned upon.
Yes.
Yeah. Very negative.
Yeah.
When people talk about how good they're doing, it's not British.
No.
Now it is in rap. You can talk about everything and everyone accepts it. But
as long as you're rhyming, it's allowed. I mean, Australia is like the same. Where
Australia has a funny rap world.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it, but like I think we can brag even less than you.
Yeah.
So like we just talk about weird shit.
Right.
We talk about like drinking beers on the beach.
Sounds good.
And like going to concerts is like in rap, and you're like, what?
Well, that's all they talk about.
Yeah, just like there's.
Do they ever rap about the big insects that they have over there?
I've never heard a rap song about the big insects.
That would be cool. I'd love to hear that.
Like
the spiders. I found a spider in my room, mate.
Oh man, that's a very strong accent. Very good job.
Thanks.
But yeah, I can't think of it. Oh, there's a Pendulum song which is called Tarantula.
Yeah, I know that.
Pendulum's Australian, aren't they?
Really?
Are they not? I get this wrong a lot. I think I claim a lot of things are Australian and I'm completely wrong. I find it weird, like you guys have decided on like nonce here as like a slang for a pedo.
Yeah.
Like that's just this country.
And if you can change an N to a P and it's ponce, which is someone who's stingy. Did you know that?
Is ponce stingy?
You ponce.
I
like
think
if you ponce a fag off someone.
Ah. I still find it weird that you guys still say
so there's
fag.
nonce and ponce.
Yeah, so you would say, can you ponce me a fag?
Can I ponce a fag?
Can I ponce a fag? So that sounds like so close to violence. Like it was Pride yesterday. I don't like saying this shit.
Yeah, don't say that.
Did you ponce a fag last night? Like, whoa, hey, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that sounds not nice.
It sounds like a lot. I don't know.
Did you go to Pride?
I did not go to Pride. I had to go to a gig, so my girlfriend went to Pride, drank a couple of cocktails, Saw some glitter, you know.
They don't call it gay pride anymore. It's pride.
I think because
isn't that interesting? It's good.
I think it's because like, you know, like gay pride, they're kind of like, hey, it's just for gay people, and I guess that includes lesbians and bi.
Right.
But it's a bigger acronym now, you know. It's like Queer Eye for the straight guy isn't called that anymore. It's just called Queer Eye.
Oh yeah.
My girlfriend's really into that show.
I hear it's very good.
Mate, her and my housemate fucking love it. They're going to see Jonathan Van Ness live.
I don't know who that is.
He's one of the guys from Queer Eye. He's the guy with the longer hair.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but like, yeah.
Is he one of the best of the queer guys?
He seems to be the one with like the most kind of solo shit going on. He's like the Justin Timberlake of Queer Eye.
Well, how do they break out from
I
Queer Eye?
don't know, but he's doing comedy.
Really?
Like, he's doing stand-up shows at the Apollo.
That makes me sick.
Yep. And like, dude, he's doing like 3 in a night because he's sold them all out.
This fucking guy. What is he talking about?
I don't know.
I bet it's good.
You bet it's good?
Yeah.
They're going to just be like, oh, he's probably excellent. He's probably got natural charisma
Sounds like it.
that I could only wish to have.
If he was on that show, he must be talented.
It'd be funny, it'd be quick, but like, surely you can't just limp into stand up.
Well, apparently you can.
But you can't be good at it. Like, you can't just jump in and be like, oh yeah, I'm pretty funny, just nail it.
I think some people can.
Come on, name one person who just started stand up randomly and now they're sick at it.
Robin Williams is dead.
Yeah, but he like
good.
did stand up the whole time. He was like a street performer. He did all that shit.
Yeah, he was probably good when he
He's
started.
like proper pedigree.
Thought you were about to say something else.
Oh, no.
No.
No, I'm using nonce now. Down in Australia we call them rock spiders. Is that a thing here?
Are you talking about insects again?
No, pedophiles. Rock spider. Yeah.
Is that based on an insect?
No, I don't think so.
Why a rock spider?
I actually don't know.
Because they dwell by the rocks.
I don't have an explanation for it. But yeah, rock spider.
Is a paedophile. That makes it sound exciting.
A rock spider?
I'd want to be a rock spider. Sounds cool.
That's my
I wouldn't want to be a nonce. I'd be a rock spider.
My mate Kenny DeForest is an American dude. He has this great joke where he's like...
Did you make that up?
No.
Rock spider.
No, it's a real thing. That is an absolute real thing.
I didn't drink this tea. It's gone
That's
cold.
okay.
I'm having the beer.
You enjoy the beer. Yeah, no,
A lot of fluids.
Kenny's got this joke where it's just like sexual predator is too cool a term for that word. Like if I didn't know what it means, I'd be like sexual predator. Yeah, that's me. Like it sounds good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I had a joke that I don't know if I can't get it to work about how social media has introduced all these kind of really horrible phrases for trauma. So you got ghosting, haunting, breadcrumbing, all these nasty things we do.
Is that gaslighting as well?
Gaslighting's kind of, that's not really internet based, but yeah, but
sure.
Isn't it kind of damning that the friendliest one sounds like online grooming? That sounds all right.
Online grooming.
Yeah.
Like the friendliest one?
Well, compared to the others.
I guess so. Out of those ones, that was definitely the one that I'd be like, oh, that sounds all right.
Yeah.
Maybe
Wash my hair for me.
Maybe getting a skincare regime.
Exactly.
I would love it. Do you have a skincare regime? Do you take care of yourself?
I wash my face.
With what? What do you got?
Soap.
Soap? Just straight up
face soap.
Like Imperial leather? Like,
no. I tell you what, I don't have a face regime, but I use a face wash.
A face wash?
Yeah.
That's good.
Not enough, right?
Yeah, but
I don't moisturize.
I'm looking at you. You got a very good beard. Your beard's in like proper immaculate condition.
It fucking isn't.
Dude, it's like, it's all cut in the right way.
No,
like,
it's not. It's not.
Like trailing off.
I can't look after the beard properly because I used to get shouted at when I shaved because it would leave little hairs everywhere.
Who'd you get shouted at by?
My girlfriend.
Right. You didn't clean up. You didn't do the cleanup?
Well, I used to bother her because it would... Let's not talk about beards. But can we just go back to nonces?
I mean, it seems to be where you are comfortable.
No, look, the thing with beards is I don't have the patience for looking after the beard. That's why I have it.
Right.
Because you don't have to do anything.
And then
I don't like shaving. I want to go to more Turkish barbers. You ever been there when they put the towel around your head and shit?
No, I never gone Turkish.
That's a skincare regime. They put a hot towel around your face. It's like being born, when they take it off.
It's like being born.
Yeah.
You feel renewed.
I feel rejuvenated.
You can start again, start a new life. Pick a religion. Do whatever you want.
They massage your head.
Yeah, the head massage.
Some of them.
Okay.
Bit weird. Don't know why they do that.
You don't ask them to.
No, they just do it.
So they're doing some offline grooming.
I went to a Turkish bath house with my dad once.
Okay.
On a holiday. I haven't told this story before.
So
Told it on stage. It didn't work. It was like
So Dave, this is you and Dave.
me and Dave. Yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted to. He goes, "We're going to get a massage. Go to a Turkish bath house." I don't know where the fuck we were. We were in Turkey. That's why. I just remembered. Yeah, it was in Turkey. Turkish bath.
I assumed.
Yeah.
That's one just popping up in Dalston.
I forgot. Right. So yeah, we were in Turkey, and he took me to the Turkish bathhouse, and I thought it was going to be kind of like a relaxing massage by a nice woman or something. You know, like funny stuff.
Yeah.
But then he took me into this. It was like a dilapidated hotel basement.
Good.
And there was just these 3 huge semi-naked men, like with loincloths around. Oh man! And then they took us to this room, and there was like a slab of concrete, right?
Yeah.
And they just said, "All right, get undressed." I was like, "Oh god!" My dad, being my dad, he didn't care. Dave just flopped it all out. He's, I've seen him naked for years, but I was not comfortable being naked in front of my dad, so I said,
Sure.
"Can I have one of your loincloths?" So they gave me like a little bit of fabric and everything, and I was just lying down, and this fucking guy got on top of me. He's just hitting me with shit and pouring cold water, hot water on me. Then the loincloth washed away. And I'm looking over at my dad, and he's naked, and this guy's just fucking battering him with like cloth. It was just fucking horrible. I don't know how we got on this subject.
But like, was it relaxing?
No, it was horrible.
But what is the point to relax? It's supposed to be like
Yeah, but I was highly tense, and this
Sure.
guy above me is going, "Relax, my friend, relax." I'm like, fuck. I'm trying to escape, trying to slide away. And then I remember that there was this German couple in their pants were watching the whole thing, and then I realized at the end nudity wasn't mandatory. I could have just worn whatever. They were just fucking with me.
Right.
I wouldn't recommend it.
You wouldn't recommend a Turkish bathhouse.
No.
Like, I find it weird that you guys call underwear here pants. I think that's like an odd.
Underpants.
Yeah. I get the.
What do you call them?
Just underwear. Or
Yeah.
boxers. Like
I call them boxers or underwear.
Really?
Yeah.
These are pants. The German people in their pants.
Yeah.
But I just find it odd because like that's a word for a
trousers.
full length garment.
Yeah.
And you guys have been like, and a pants. And I'm just like, yes, what? Jeans?
We invented
what?
English. We call it what we want.
And I think you really take liberties with that. I would like you to be more respectful of what you've created.
Well, look at what Americans do with fanny pack and stuff like that.
What's wrong with fanny pack? You don't like fanny pack?
No, I don't.
It's a pack near your fanny. Done. Next.
Fanny is their arse, right?
Yeah.
But it's not near the
We call it a bum
arse.
bag in Australia.
Yeah, again, wrong, because it's not near your arse.
What do you
It's around
call
the
it?
front.
What do you call it?
A bum bag. Shit. The difference between garage and rapping. Well,
Yes.
garage music, it's kind of uplifting, like bassy.
Sure.
Basically, the garage MC just kind of had to keep the party going and the vibe going. That no one was listening to the lyrics. It was just about the general vibe that they were creating. Were they
Right.
entertaining people? Were they keeping people in the party in good spirits? That's about it. They were
So-
not lyrical people. But
It's like
then,
kind of like a slightly rappier version of Flavor Flav. Like, is that the idea?
Yeah,
like
alright,
a hype
yeah.
man.
yeah, I'll give you that. They're
Sure.
basically a hype man, and they kind of kept it plugging along nicely. But the rap,
So you were a hype man.
yeah, I tried my thing.
Like you the enthusiastic.
Yeah, I wasn't very good. I wasn't very
It
good.
seems like such an unnatural fit.
Yeah, no, it wasn't good.
For you to be
But
like,
I liked.
come on guys, keep it going one more time for your MC.
But I used to like. I just used to like, writing and rapping and
Sure.
being with the lads, doing
The
a rap with the lads.
Was it like a culture, like a rap culture? Were you like part of like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
scene?
but it was a
the
joke.
garage scene?
No, I wasn't part of the garage scene. I was too. I had no respect
You had no respect.
because I wasn't good, and I wasn't prolific or anything with garage. It was just a bit of fun.
So, yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
So then I started writing rap music, rap songs, and they were pretty bad for a few years. It's like comedy. You start off bad and hope that you get
Yeah,
better.
of course. You suck for ages.
So my early stuff was all terrible.
Yeah.
And I got that out of my system, and then I wrote an album around 2008.
Right. Oh, well, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez.
It's a good album.
Yeah, is it still available?
Still available.
What's it called?
Mental Disorder.
Mental Disorder.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was the more just like kind of straight rap?
Yeah. It was funny. It had some concept songs and everything.
Yeah.
Still holds up.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then I did a few bits and pieces. I was in a rap group. Still am, but we're separated.
Still in a rap group?
Yeah, I'm in a rap group.
What was the rap group called?
Moose Funk Squad.
Moose Funk Squad.
Moose. Yeah, still about shout out Moose.
That's cool. And you guys, so you still perform as a rapper now?
Yeah. I've got a new album coming out.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I thought like you'd kind of transitioned into comedy as opposed to
No,
continued.
Well, I kind of did. I was doing comedy and I hadn't rapped for ages, but I like writing. I like writing songs, and I like the challenge of trying to write songs that are credible and not lame at my age in the game. You know what I mean? And that's what the new album is doing. It's not corny. Like if you're of a certain age, like I am, you can't be saying the same sort of shit that you did 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's like when you're a comic, you can't be talking about fingering when you're like 35.
Exactly.
It's just weird.
There's lots of similarities with rap and comedy. Like I feel the same about comedy. Like if you're in a position where you are talking to people on a mic and they're looking at you, and you're in a club trying to make them laugh, like if you waste that opportunity talking about rubbish, it's kind of just a waste of everyone's time. You've got to use it wisely.
Right, you take that same approach with like rap, because
Yeah,
I thought with rap
yeah.
it'd be more like, let's just make sure they have a good time.
Well, you can, but there's a lot of people doing that and doing it better than I ever could.
Okay.
I don't think people would want to listen to me to have a good time necessarily. But like I'm the only person that does what I do, you know, music wise, which is I write about dumb shit. I'm funny. I write good lyrics. I have good beats.
Right.
You know, I've got some good concepts coming up.
That's cool.
Like on the cassette tape.
The cassette tape that's available, Edinburgh Fringe, 2019.
There's some good concepts on there. There's a song about sending effective emails, which is something close to my heart.
Yeah.
There's a misogynistic rap about feminism.
Sure.
There's a couple other tunes. I don't want to spoil it for your listeners.
Well, don't at all.
But the cassette tape is available at the Fringe.
But is it meant to be funny?
Yeah.
Like, are people meant to laugh during the show?
Yeah, they're meant to laugh at when I do the live rap element on the live shows.
Yeah.
I try and keep it short and sweet. I don't dwell on full songs, so I just do the funny parts of songs. So there's whole songs that I could have done that aren't necessarily funny, so I don't do them.
But I mean, like is it like in a live rap show or a live like comedy show?
Yeah, both, because I mix the two.
In both?
Yeah, when I do an hour, it's a bit of both.
And when you do a rap concert, it's a bit of both?
Well, it shouldn't be, but yeah, I kind of be funny while I'm talking. I can't help it. Like when I'm with Moose doing a live set, I can't take the comedian out of me. I kind of embrace what's going on and do crowd work and stuff.
That's interesting. And the crowd just go with it? Because I always find
Not
comedy,
always. Sometimes they're very confused. But
yeah, because comedy's like a niche audience.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's kind of like I think as a comedy audience, you need to kind of know that it's comedy and kind of know what to expect. Like people at their first comedy show tend to be shit audience members.
Yeah.
Because they're a bit self-conscious. They don't realize they have to give.
It could just happen to a good audience if they're in a bad room, if it's all lit well and everything. They don't want to laugh. Like dingy basements and shit.
That's it. They just get like a weird vibe and they're wrong.
Sometimes people will go to a comedy show for the first time and it'll be so bad they'll never go to another one.
I mean, that's one of the true tragedies, because like you're just like, well, that's that done forever. It's like, no, it's this is a very specific instance.
Yeah, man.
And like sometimes good comedians can have a shocker. You ever been on those shows where it's like the lineup's great and just everyone sticks top to bottom, and it's not even like the audience's fault. It's just like the acts are just thrown by like the energy, and it's just like
Yeah, I've had a few.
I guess we all just go home. That's why Sofar Sounds is really interesting, because like with that I do treat it as in like they're a room full of people, as opposed to like a comedy audience.
Yeah.
So I feel like I got to kind of introduce it more.
You do, because we're not introduced as much, because the compas don't speak to the crowd much. You know, you're going into a cold room.
Yeah.
I haven't had any bad shows with so far. The only bad one I had was just because it was a very hot room and they were losing focus. I usually have fun at every show.
I had one bad one, and that's because they put me on first.
Oh yeah, shit. Actually, I had one bad one, and they put me on first.
Yeah, which you can't do.
No,
it's a
you
music
can't
show. Everyone wants music. We can be like a little a palate cleanser in between the two bands, but we can't be like, oh, here's a person talking for ages before the band.
That's why. Yeah, no, that fucked me. Actually, I was in Brighton.
You're in Brighton.
Yeah, I was in Brighton, and yeah, it was a bit of a. Sometimes they get a lot of young people, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you get too many young people that speak foreign languages,
Yes.
that's a booking error for old Jacobs.
Any comedy show, like, you can't just have like a bunch of people who barely speak English. It's just not going to work.
Correct.
Especially if you don't tell us. Like, if you're in Europe and like English is everyone's second language, you can be like, hey, maybe I'll slow it down. Maybe I'll enunciate a bit more.
Wouldn't help me because I'm a mumbler.
You
I might
are
do
a mumbler, which is interesting with the rapping.
Yeah, but there's a lot of mumble rap now, so it's all good.
Mumble rap, yeah, that's like definitely something I haven't particularly gotten into.
Oh, I love it.
Like,
banging.
well, I want to talk to you about Jewish stuff now. That's what I want to do.
There we go.
Yeah, I got to wake you up somehow.
Am I being lazy? Sorry, I need to.
Yeah, get your head in, because you recently wrote.
I got to talk louder.
You going to talk louder?
Yeah.
That's the switch.
That's why I never made it in comedy, because I'm not very what's the word?
Lively.
Lively on interviews and stuff.
Really?
I like doing podcasts. I just
Well, this is the thing. You came in here with a lot of enthusiasm, being like, "Hey, I'd really love to do a podcast. I really like doing podcasts."
Yeah.
I was like, "Cool."
Yeah. Talking about noncing.
Yeah. Then you're like, "I want to talk about Rolf Harris for a bit." I'm like, "Okay, that's fine. That's valid."
Okay, let's talk about Jew shit.
Yeah. Get into it. The chosen people.
Uh-huh.
No, because
I've been asked to do. This is like the third podcast talking about it. So when they come out in the staggered releases of when the podcasts come out, it's going to seem like all they ever fucking do is complain about being a Jew.
I'm gonna take very different tacks.
All right.
Fuck that. You know, I don't need you to be intelligible on Judaism. Well, I've already spoken to a few Jewish people on this podcast.
Who you got?
I had Adam Bloom,
Okay.
Alice Fraser,
Okay.
and there was someone else. I forget who it was. I've forgotten. Anyway,
It's good quota though. Good quota of Jews.
yeah. Well,
Well
just
done.
like because, yeah, I think we spoke about this before. After that gig at the Comedy Store, we both
Right.
both trialing. Both didn't have the trials we would have liked.
Yeah.
And then went to that little members club thing.
Right.
You
Good
took me
dropping
to,
in.
but it
Good
just
dropping in.
Yeah, and everyone
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just like wrecked, and we're just there like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. For Thursday, you've just never seen people so off their face on a Thursday.
Yeah.
They were crushing it.
Cocaine.
Cocaine, red-faced white people. But yeah, so we're talking about it a little bit then. But you put this article out.
That was way before the article.
That was way before the article, and then you. Like, because there's anti-Semitism in the UK is like a thing that's being talked about because the Labour Party.
Yeah.
That's basically because I like.
It didn't start with the Labour Party, but it was the whole episode was definitely aggravated by the Labour Party and certain aspects of them and kind of how they've dealt with the situation. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like an internal thing, right? That was then kind of said to the public. Like, it was like there wasn't like a kind of mission statement from the Labour Party being like, you know, that was quite negative and received poorly.
No.
It was discussions within the party that were then publicised.
Well, the issue is a lot of people in the Labour Party and left-leaning people, they are anti-racist, or they claim to be anti-racist, but there's a bit of a blind spot with Jewish people who are a minority in England and historically have been an oppressed people and had a lot of shit go down.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a blind spot with left-leaning people because of other issues in the world, like the Middle East, Israel, Palestine. So kind of we've been made to feel like we don't matter particularly.
Right. You guys don't get to be a part of like the minority, like a push for greater representation.
Oh yeah, no one gives a fuck. But that's okay. I don't mind. I mean, I'm not out here trying to say, oh, please let me represent.
Well, no,
I don't give a shit about that. But the issue I have is, first of all, I want to just make people aware of it,
Mm-hmm.
make them see why certain language and certain phrasing is building this sort of dodgy area.
Sure. What is there like? Sorry, just off the top of your head, an example of that phrasing?
Well, it's like the idea of collective blame.
Sure.
So obviously Israel, they do things that people do not agree with. The government is a right-wing government. They, there's been a lot of things that are not cool.
Yeah.
Putting it mildly, they've the military behave in a certain way that people do not like. Some people
They used some Australian passports for an assassination. I remember that was a few years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
You have done some research,
Dude. I remember. That was quite. Yeah, that was a weird moment for Australia because we're like, oh, we got included and stuff. Oh, it's not good. Okay.
Yeah. So what was I saying? So collective blame. So just to put it mildly, the idea that a Jewish person is somehow responsible or can defend Israel's actions, which is ludicrous, because I don't speak for Israel or the Israeli government. But when you talk about experiencing anti-Semitism, someone will say, well, what about Israel?
Right.
What about Palestinians?
Sure.
So I'm neither of those things, so why are you bringing this up now? I'm just talking about basic stuff.
Yeah, you're just talking
Does
about...
that explain what I'm saying?
I think so. I think
it's very difficult to articulate.
I-
I'm not a political guy. I just don't like hypocrisy.
Yeah, no. I think that's like a fair point because like it is a left-leaning party that's kind of like against all the discrimination. And
now
then it's like,
Jews
fuck
don't.
Israel.
Jews aren't welcome in it. Well, not really. Some of them are, but they get their tokens. They get like sock puppets. This is serious. People claim to be Jewish in defense of Jeremy Corbyn and all this shit on Twitter, and they're all fake accounts getting thousands of retweets. It's all mad.
Really?
Yeah.
So just like
there's a Panorama documentary coming out, I believe, next week.
Yeah.
It's going to blow the lid off it a bit more, and the same people will deny there's a problem. But I know there's a problem because I've felt the problem myself personally.
You've felt like instances of anti-Semitism.
Yeah, of course, there's a vibe. I felt it enough to have to write about it, and we mentioned when I put the article out, there were a few examples of individuals replying to it in negative ways or, throwing in their 2 cents in sort of ignorant ways, and it kind of proved the point because there are people who are happy to just spout off about being Jewish identity, Jewish history. They can say whatever they want. And meanwhile, like Jewish people were messaging me in private saying, I'm glad you wrote that. Thank you for writing it. I don't want to speak out. So that's where there's a problem.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
So,
everyone should be able to feel free to speak out about anything they want if it's of significance to them. And now there's like it feels like there's an imbalance because everyone else is represented everywhere, but Jewish people no one seems to give a shit. Did you know that Adam Bloom was the last guy on Mock the Week who was Jewish?
No.
In 2008?
I mean...
There you go. Someone told me that today. I'm glad I could get it in.
Just squeeze in the fact. Well, no, just like I find it interesting here with like in America. I think Jewish people are very prominent.
Yeah, and people like Jews in America. It's a European thing that hasn't gone away. Anti-Semitism is prolific in Europe more than the States. You got your American Nazis and neo-Nazis and shit. Right?
But I mean,
it's a different beast over here, I'd say.
I find it very interesting, like culturally here, like it seems like Jewish people are more integrated. In America, there's kind of like Jewish names that you can kind of tell with people, and they have like their own communities. Whereas like here, like I can't like look at a name and be like, that's a Jewish guy. Like it's not as
you need to sort your Judar out.
You can tell you're on top of it.
But like
just compared to like in America, like if your last name's like Gold, you know what I mean? Like these kind of European sounding names.
And in America, like Jews, the stereotypes about Jewish people are still there, but I feel like they're appreciated more in England. We always had our little communities and our little thing. And growing up, no one cared. I didn't care, but now I feel like we have to sort of defend ourselves, and we're on trial constantly. And I don't want us to be on trial. The people talking shit should be on trial, and that's what I wanted to sort of say by writing the piece.
Yeah, because like
appeal to common decency.
I remember like Matt Lucas from Little Britain retweeted it. Is he a Jewish guy, or did he just?
Of course he is. Very Jewish.
I don't know. Like Matt Lucas, man, that's not a particularly Jewish name.
No. Well, I think it is. Matthew Lucas, pretty Jewish.
Really? Well, I mean,
Yeah, maybe.
I think
But Rachel Riley, she's Jewish. I didn't even really know about her till all this happened.
Right.
She's Jewish. She came out trying to talk about it, and the shit people say to her just for trying to make a stand. It's very disturbing.
Well, it was funny because we're talking about it drunkenly in that members club, and you were describing it, and I was like, that's so like weird. Like I not that I would notice it or anything like that. But then I was at a show here. There was a Jewish comedian on, and he made like a joke, like where his friend died, and he had like pistachio or something, and then like he grabbed them, like off the corpse or whatever, and then this guy in the front row, at a like full comedy show, just goes out loud, "Typical Jew."
No way.
And I was just there like, the fuck was that? Like, and no one did anything.
Really?
Like, the comedian kind of handled it.
Who was the comedian?
I'm not going to say just because it's his story. I don't want to hijack it.
Do I know them?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Very prominent.
Was it recent?
Yeah. This was like a few months ago.
Yeah, man. All right.
So, but no one in the crowd was like, you can't say that, boo, like nothing like that.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
But
normalized.
like the security guard wasn't like, hey, maybe the guy saying typical Jew to the Jewish comedian should not be in the room anymore. Like it was just like like he just kind of been like not funny. Like that was like the equivalent.
Normalized. I grew up with people making Jew jokes my whole life, from old friends, new friends, work colleagues. Everyone feels like it's okay to make Jewish jibes and everything. And to be honest, I never really gave a shit growing up. I'm sure any other sort of minority has experienced other things where they just get used to it and they don't really care. If you want to make a big deal out of it every time, it's going to be exhausting. I never gave a shit. The issue now is it's got to the point where the people who are ignorant and kind of perpetuating dangerous fallacies, they are now getting too loud for it to be bearable. It's like kind of like when you're at a gig and you can hear someone talking, murmuring, and you can't address it because when you address it, you're going to look like an asshole, right? But eventually they get so loud that if you don't address it, it's going to throw the whole gig.
Yeah, absolutely right. Because the audience are now hearing it,
right?
And they're being like, "Can someone shut that guy up?"
Exactly.
Whereas
so
if
that's
it's just you seem like a lunatic.
Right. So that's why I'm trying to just make people a bit more aware of it. But I feel like it's not in a good spot, you know. And like I said, growing up, no one gave a shit was Jewish, but we still had security teams around the synagogues 24 hours a day. Even growing as a kid. Yeah. Of course.
Just like what, like armed?
We don't have guns in England, but they were handy. But, it's
They
just
were
because
not to be crossed.
Because people don't like Jews. I don't know why. I don't know what we did.
Did you go to like a Jewish school?
I didn't go to a Jewish school. I went to a synagogue school whenever on the weekends. Before my old bat mitzvah.
Okay, good.
That was fucking boring.
Got mitzvahed?
I got the
Did you have a rapper at the bar mitzvah?
No rapper.
Oh, jeez. What was the entertainment? Anything?
I can't remember. I probably had a band.
Probably had a band? Okay.
Yeah, man. But yeah, my synagogue was guarded. It's quite, it's just commonplace, normal.
Well, I know my one of the dudes I started comedy with in Sydney was a Jewish guy, and they always have a security guard at their school. I remember that, and he's like got a gun, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe.
And that's like a very small school. Like this is like 20 people per year kind of thing. Like,
and like I feel it. Like I'm not religious. I'm a cultural Jew. I know people that are religious, and I think people's identity is important to everybody. You should be proud of what you've come from or who you are.
Yeah.
But with being Jewish in England, I've always been. You don't want to make it too noticeable for people. I've felt that. Because you don't know who it's about. But now, because of this shit that's going on, you definitely don't want to. So I was very reluctant to do the article. I never wanted to be a political guy talking about that kind of shit. But
yeah, you don't want to be a mouthpiece for something.
Nah, not
which
at all.
Which is not a nice thing.
No
like,
way.
regardless of the issue.
Nah, it's not.
I don't think anybody wants to be like the face of like a complicated thing.
Mostly because I don't have the answers.
Yeah.
I never would want to say I have the answers, and I don't want to point the finger at people. I don't want to be like that. I'm trying to be a positive person. I don't like negative shit.
Yeah.
But it's a negative atmosphere, and the hardest thing to take about it is people that they just don't acknowledge it. They say it's made up, it's irrelevant, it's not happening. So it just adds fuel to the fire.
So people just said to you, like, this, you're being ridiculous.
Yeah,
None
of
of this
course.
is happening.
Of course.
Right.
But it's very complex. Like, you know.
I mean, I just think in America, there's like a connotation of Jewish people of like success and like they're kind of like culturally kind of, you know, the comedy industry obviously has always been heavily Jewish. So like I think within comedy, like people make fun of like Jewish people like in a nuanced way, not like a Jew joke, for example.
It's fine to make
but like here
fun of Jews. I don't mind.
They're not really referenced here, like
because they're not acknowledged or appreciated in the same way.
right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if this was a situation developing in America, it would be handled a lot better, I reckon. In England, because of the stereotypes about Jews, about being successful, powerful, you know, rich. So when this thing has been happening, a lot of people have been thinking, what? Privileged Jews piping up? Fuck off.
Right.
Do me a fucking favour.
Wait,
what about the real issues in England? What about X and Y?
Do you think it's because you are a smaller percentage of the population here? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that the main factor?
Well, we are a small, tiny percentage, and now with this Labour thing, the way it's been handled has been so bad, and whether or not there are true anti-Semites in the Labour Party is irrelevant because it's been handled so badly at this point it doesn't even matter. But now, because Jews are such a tiny minority, my feeling is it's not even in their interest to make it right because we're just such a tiny percentage of votes anyway. Who gives a shit?
Right.
But the reality is, I don't see Jews voting for like a Labour Party for a generation until it's sorted out because it's a fucking shame because I'm a left-leaning guy. I would want to vote for Labour.
Yeah,
Right.
but there's just this clear issue that you're like, well, we can't be condoning that.
I don't want to just shit on Labour either because it's not a Labour-centric thing. It's now spread out to other people. It's just a nuanced kind of issue that some people have with Jews, Jewishness, Israel, Palestine. They kind of put it all together as one thing.
Sure.
And I don't see it as
They don't
one
see any
thing.
nuance.
The what?
They don't see any nuance.
No.
It's just like Israel is the Jewish state, therefore Jewish people are responsible.
Right, yeah.
Right. Okay. No, sorry. I just remembered the third Jewish person I had on the podcast, Simon Broken.
Oh yeah.
He's obviously most famous as Lee Nelson.
Right.
And like, I don't think at any point would have been like, oh, I'm Jewish, by the way. Whereas like in America, I think that would be part of his public persona.
Well, I've tried to make it part of mine, but no one cares. It's not marketable. No one gives a fuck.
Right. So
I find it kind of funny. That's what, like, because everyone's pushing different types of people, different voices. And everything.
Sure.
No one gives a fuck about a Jewish voice. Who cares?
That's interesting. So there's no kind of like Jewish community, like kind of Jewish gigs, like
There are Jewish gigs and Jewish community, but this is what's hilarious. Like for people that wield so much influence and power, they're all fucking shambolic operation. Terrible. Rubbish. Like, fuck, man. I was interviewed by a Jewish publication for my Fringe run this year. I haven't heard anything from it. I remember a guy was going to review me for some Jewish newspaper at one of the Fringes, asked for a free ticket, didn't see shit. Like, these guys are fucking... They're amateurs.
So what you're saying is unequivocally they do not control the media.
Well, whatever media they control, they do it ineffectually. Because I have not seen any coverage on what I do.
Well, that was like, before I had you on, I was like thinking about all this stuff. Do you have any explanation as to why so many conspiracy theories come back to Judaism somehow?
Yeah, of course.
Because it's just weird.
No, it makes perfect sense.
But like, why? Like, I would love to kind of hear that perspective because
Well,
I just like people tie like 9/11 to Judaism.
Yeah.
Like the media stuff, obviously. Like the whole is Hollow Earth. Is that Jewish as well?
Yeah,
No.
it probably fucking did that as well.
Yeah, like, but you know what I mean? It's
course.
like all these things that just seem to have nothing to do with Jewish people. They're just kind of like, you know who's really behind it though?
Yeah. Well, I need to refamiliarize myself with some of these things, but I guess the reason why a lot of it comes back to that is, first of all, it's just a misunderstanding about Jews in society, and a lot of people who perpetuate myths and conspiracy theories about Jewish people, they don't know any.
Right.
It's just this idea that they have.
Sure.
All right, you know, the Jews, blah blah blah. A lot of people who are kind of anti-Semitic or racist, they live in areas where they don't even meet people of color or Jewish people. They just have them in their imagination. It's kind of like how people are Islamophobic. When they don't know any Muslims, they just like want to stay in their white area and are fearful of these Muslim no-go zones that don't exist.
Yeah.
But they do in their mind, right? It's a similar thing with Jewish people. You do enough reading and you watch enough crazy YouTube videos and you'll be like, the Jews, they're responsible for all this shit. That's how it starts. But then historically, Jewish people kind of got into a few scrapes because of how the religion manifested in the things that they did. It used to piss people off in a certain way. You know, I can't remember what it was. I think I might be wrong on this, but like Christians certain times they weren't allowed to have jobs involving money, so Jews were money lenders or something.
Judaism is the only religion where you can charge interest.
Is it?
Yeah, other religions you can't. That's why they always did the banks, because
really?
they're the ones who could make it profitable.
It feels like a joke.
No, like I swear that's true.
You're doing a fucking bit.
Yeah, I know. I swear. I know. Like now, you made me fucking question everything. But no,
I can't remember it exactly. But something like that. And
that is genuinely my understanding. It was like in the other religions, like it was against the religion too.
But whatever it is, what it resulted in from medieval times. Well, basically, actually, fuck that. It goes back to Jesus and Christianity and Jesus being killed by the Jews. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah, and then so what it does is it kind of it created them as a scapegoat, from all that time ago, and it can just sort of perpetuate in different ways as time goes on because they've always had that sort of scapegoating from back then. So it would then manifest in other ways. So in medieval times they would poison kids with they're after child blood, and that myth would start, and it's never forgotten. It just kind of re-emerges as time goes on.
Poisoning for child blood.
Yeah, they eat blood of babies and put blood
you
in.
guys.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There's that one. What other shit? That's all right. And then, so 9/11 was done by the Jews because it would have been a banking, financial thing, or to create a war in the Middle East that the Zionist overlords can sort of keep an eye on and control.
Sure.
It all fits a narrative of this elusive, hidden, sort of powerful, conspiratorial thing.
Because it seems like the narrative is that you guys have controlled history since Jesus. So like anything that happens,
we're not doing
history,
a fucking good job of it, are we?
But like everything that happens in history, you must be responsible for.
Yeah, I wish I was involved in all that conspiracy.
I mean, yeah, if you are controlling history, you're being very hard on yourselves. Like, because like there'd probably be no greater, like, kind of more consistently persecuted people.
Yeah, but then again, that's all. If you read the right nutty things, that's all a hoax. That what never happened, or the numbers are exaggerated. It's a very deep and complex, complicated series of kind of bollocks.
Yeah, no, I just.
But essentially, I think a large factor of it is scapegoating, which I understand because life is horrible. And you want someone to blame when things are fucking bad. It's very convenient to say, the Jews probably had a hand in that. Jewish people do this. I get it.
I mean, I think that's the beauty of any conspiracy theory. It's quite elegant as an explanation.
Right.
As opposed to being like, life is chaos, we're all going to die.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, no. It's like 6 Jewish people, they kind of chose all this, and they'll choose something else.
For sure.
The next time.
It makes it's a good fit, you know? It makes sense.
I mean, it's just funny the way that you're saying that you've here kind of been like, no, I am Jewish, and I try to embrace that professionally.
But like when I say
effect.
that, by the way, like I'm not religious, and if anything, it's society around me that has made me want to embrace it more because they are trying to dictate what being Jewish is in England and what anti-Semitism is in England. When I know what it is,
right?
Because I am Jewish and I've felt things, and I know I'm around a lot of Jewish people. I understand it. So when someone else is trying to tell me and police me and like my lot, I'm like, nah, you're a fucking dick. So that has made me more Jewish. Society is more obsessed with me being Jewish than I am, particularly in England.
Yeah, and especially at the moment. Or
Right.
Yeah,
especially when you talk up about it.
Yeah, that's it. So like in your kind of like friendship circle, like are there a lot of Jewish people, or is it?
Yeah, I was with a couple of Jews last night.
A couple of Jews
planning some shit.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. If I can check your newspapers, everybody, it'll happen.
I got a few Jew friends, yeah. People I grew up with back in the day. Families of Jews. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, North London, there's a little Jewish
I do know that.
Jew boy zone.
What is it? It's
And
North
go.
London, Leeds,
Manchester,
and that's it, pretty much.
I'm sure there's a few dotted around. Sometimes I meet Scottish Jews, which is always fun.
Scottish Jews.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it is cool.
Were they like
They get about.
wearing like kilts and a yarmulke same time? Being like, we're
I hope
fucking
so.
everything, bro.
I hope so.
I would love like what's the sit? What's that one?
Fucking weird hair.
The hair down from the
I don't like that.
sideburns.
That's depressing. I don't
Is that
like that.
Hasidic only?
Yeah. I think
Okay.
so. I mean, you wouldn't get a casual Jew doing that.
It's like, yeah, I'm culturally Jewish.
right.
But no, it's just like, yeah, it's funny because like, I don't know, I think I grew up culturally far more American than British. Like in Australia, we kind of have one of the two.
Yeah.
And so in my head, Judaism is like fine, obviously, but then like also something you can kind of joke about in quite a lighthearted way. Whereas like here, it seems like it's a little bit more insidious.
Yeah.
Like the response to it, like the kind of jokes, like the portrayal of Jewish people, I guess. Like just in America, it's kind of like, yeah, like, you know, like agents in Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But the difference, I think, with America and British is America, they celebrate the Jewish lot a lot more. So I think that gives them license to make funny jokes and make the jibes. Same way they do with black comedy over there as well.
right. You think it's more celebrated?
Well, yeah, I think because it's inclusive and they got a mixed bag of people. I don't know, but in England there is no Jewish comedy scene.
Well, that's, yeah, because I guess in America...
Not that I'm advocating for one either, by the way. I'm just observing it.
I guess in America, say you see like a Jewish character on TV, like portrayed a certain way. Hey, Seinfeld is not like that, all right? Because that was, I remember the notes for Seinfeld when they first came out with it, like 2 New York, 2 Jewish. That was what the network said. But I just feel like in America, if I'm watching a Jewish person be made fun of, like South Park, for example, where they love making fun of Jewish people.
Oh, they do.
There's a Jewish person in the writing room. Like one of the creators is Jewish.
Yeah.
Like,
that's true.
so
They made some great Jew jokes.
Probably.
Did you ever see the South Park episode called Cancelled with the Jewish aliens?
no.
It's my favourite South Park episode ever, and it's so anti-Semitic, but it's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
They go, Earth is a reality show that gets cancelled, right? And so the kids are in deep space trying to find the TV commissioners of the galaxy to sort of get it recommissioned, and the TV commissioners are these Jewish aliens, and they have huge noses, Jewish fucking aliens with huge noses, and they do all this Jew stuff, but it's like in an alien world. So they say, "You Earthlings want to go to a Heckma bar?" And it's like a titty bar, and they say, "Hey, you kids ever try any blach?" It's fucking alien coke. Fucking hilarious. Man. No one seems to have seen it. Go and watch South Park Cancelled.
Yeah. I mean, that's, you know, that kind of episode. Yeah, it's like a Jewish person in the writer's room. It's kind of like anti-Semitic to a point. Like, you know, it somehow that just seems better.
But like with jokes that are anti-Semitic, I don't mind shit like that because I hope there's in good faith and people can just laugh at dumb shit that we all do and that's part of society. It's just with people who kind of have dangerous viewpoints that ruin it for the rest of us.
What about, for a joke, stealing something off your mate's dead body and then someone at the front being like, you know what's okay to say out loud to 300 strangers? Typical Jew.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's like...
It was a bit too comfortable.
That's kind of insane to me. Like, I was... Yeah, very taken aback by that.
So you heard that yourself, yeah?
Yeah, I was in the room. I was like, just watching to the side.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's not acceptable. It's not cool. And I'm not saying that the current situation has caused it, but I'm saying that now, because of this discussion and because it hasn't reached a decent conclusion, I'd say people kind of more than ever like unfazed by that shit. It's seen as a non-issue and it should be respected. Like no one should have to do a set and accept that someone's going to say typical Jew.
Yeah, as a possibility. Just kind of, I got my heckle comeback for typical Jew.
And like I've said on stage, I've been called a yid and stuff like heckled in
What-
that sort of way a few times.
What is the genesis of Yid?
I think it's
Because like that's something I find weird. I've heard a few people had that yelled at them, like
Yeah.
Andrea Hubert as well. Actually,
Right,
I remember
right.
she told me about that.
I don't even know where it originates from, but I know that currently it's used by Tottenham, the football team. And I
Yeah.
don't know anything about football. I don't like football. And I get that Tottenham are a Yid army and everything, but I'm just a guy doing dick jokes on stage. I don't have anything to do with football or anything. Don't shout Yid at me.
Is that because like Tottenham fans were Jewish?
It's
Like
a North London club,
okay,
so a lot of Jewish supporters.
but like is Yiddish like is calling someone a Yid like short for Yiddish and a slur? Like
yeah.
because I've never that's not yelled in any other country.
No.
Like that's like nonce. You know, you guys have just
creative over here.
you guys have owned it. You've
Well,
owned
America
your own
has
language.
kike. We don't have kike here very much.
You don't have kike here.
No one says kike.
Really?
As a slur in England, no. It's an American, very much American.
Interesting.
It's a good one, kike.
It's a good slur.
It sounds nasty, kike.
It does, yeah. Actually, it's
I like the part in American History X.
right.
It calls him kike.
Yeah. American History X, man, that was
Good flick.
good film.
He made a great Nazi.
Edward Norton,
Yeah.
very convincing. I love that the fat guy Nazi. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I think
It's
it's
a good
always a shame when you got like a bunch of races that are not just like a really kind of goofy fat guy
Yeah.
to be like no that like some of them aren't dangerous, they're just fucking fat. Just to kind of wind the scene down a little bit. It's like no, they're not all like paramilitary people. Like some of them are just fat idiots. Yeah. I think it's a very fair representation. But no, just sorry, I was thinking about the name thing because like, yeah, I definitely like I don't think I would hear a name and think like anyone is like Jewish, like except actually Adam Bloom. I was like I'm pretty sure, like
Yeah.
based off the name, but just like I just find it funny when you're saying that you are just kind of embracing the Judaism more, on stage, I guess. And it's like Whoopi Goldberg. I just thought of that because she obviously changed her name.
Oh, yeah.
Because do you know the story?
She changed Whoopi.
No, the last name isn't Goldberg.
Yeah, Whoopi's a good name.
Whoopi, yeah, because apparently she used to fart a lot. And they had like a Whoopi cushion. So I went with Whoopi, yeah.
True.
Yeah, because I was like, I swear she changed it to get ahead in the business, but I wanted to go into it because Jamie Foxx was the same. Jamie Foxx changed his name to Jamie Foxx.
From
I don't know his actual name, but it's because it's androgynous.
Jonathan Leibowitz.
Although Jamie Foxx, because it's androgynous, and they were trying to book more female acts. So he was like, if I'm called Jamie Foxx, like maybe they'll book me thinking I'm a woman.
Fuck, man. That's
Right?
funny.
Gotta get ahead, gotta hustle. But no, Whoopi Goldberg, she said, yeah, because Goldberg is a Jewish sounding name, and that'll probably help my career.
Brilliant.
But like here, if you were like Joe Goldberg, I don't know. I don't know if you play in the store every weekend, you know?
No, you wouldn't. I think it would just hinder you. It's kind of like, I guess, when people, if you have a really, really African name or something,
Right.
they'll probably turn promoters off immediately. You know how like some people change their name in England for when applying for jobs, like Muslim people with very Muslim sounding names
Yeah.
might do that. It's a pretty similar thing.
Just a homogeny.
Yeah.
Homogenize as best you can.
I'm trying to think of how Jewy a name I'd have to never get booked, but I'm sure it would exist. Fuck knows.
I mean, I know because in America they do change them, but like, because like, what is it? I remember when Charlie Sheen was going crazy. Remember that? Was that A Simpler World?
Yeah, man.
Where Charlie Sheen was just going
Tiger
mental,
Blood.
and he was like, "I'll tell you about Haim Levine. Yeah, you guys might know him as Chuck Lorre, but it's Haim Levine."
I don't remember that.
Oh, that was part of it. Yeah, because like he was going against the guy who made 2.5 Men. That was the creator.
Right.
Same guy does.
He
Big
was
Bang
going crazy
Theory.
because he had AIDS. Or
Yeah.
was it HIV?
HIV.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got full blown. I think he's like Magic Johnson, just sitting on the HIV.
That was far out, man.
But that was fun, man. That was like what? That's the last really great celebrity breakdown, I think.
There'll be others.
There'll definitely be them, but that was like the last one.
Hopefully Rolf will come out the woodwork for something. I think he's still got a bit more juice in the game.
Really? Do you think you're gonna start and end this thing on Rolf Harris?
Yeah.
Gonna be like, I want to give it a nice little symmetry. Where can people find you if they want to hear more from Joe Jacobs?
Go on my website, joejacobs.website, or follow me on Twitter and Instagram.
Is it actually joejacobs.website?
Yeah.
Interesting.
At Jester Jacobs on social media.
Cool.
Buy my cassette.
Buy a cassette at Edinburgh Fringe. When's your Edinburgh Fringe show? A lot of these people will be at Edinburgh.
My Edinburgh Fringe show is 1st till the 25th I think it's the 25th. 1st to the 25th, 4 p.m. Up the road. Room. Just fuck. I need to get better at saying it.
Yeah, come on, give it one more go.
Come and see Grimefulness at the Caves, 4 p.m. 1st to the 25th of August, not the fucking 12th.
Not the 12th.
Not the 12th.
Taking the 12th off.
Yeah.
Having a day.
Contractually obliged.
I'm on at the same time, 4 p.m.
Really?
We'll never see each other.
Nah. Well, we'll get a beer.
We will. All right. The way we end the podcast, you say cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Fucking nailed it. Joe Jacobs, good chatting to you.
Thank you.
All right. That was an interesting chat with Joe. Definitely nonce heavy. I like that after the podcast, it was like, yeah, I don't really know why I talked about nonces that much. But hey, you know, we're here now, and why not move forward with it? The one thing I was going to say is nonce. I said that only in the UK pedophiles referred to as nonces. I never really understood the origin of that, so I thought, hey, maybe I'll look it up. Maybe there'll be something here. And guess what? It's an acronym. It's an acronym from prison. Nonce stands for Not of Normal Criminal Element. So it's like they're not part of the general criminal element in terms of murder, rape, I guess. These are your garden variety crimes, burglary. They're a nonce because they're separate. And I think there's also a connotation where they don't get to exercise at the same time as the other prisoners, because as any other Law and Order fan such as myself will know, pedophiles do not have a good time in prison. They are looked down upon quite a bit by the other inmates. Anyway, that's what nonce stands for. And I mentioned in Australia we call them rock spiders, which, you know, is another Australian dedication to freaking you guys out about how many spiders there are in Australia. But I actually had no idea where that came from either. And by God, is it gross. Strap in. So it's derived from the analogy that a pedophile, like a rock spider, is always getting into little cracks. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm sorry about that, but that is the answer that I had found. It's on Urban Dictionary, so you know it's pretty much true. I will check with a fellow Australian at some point, but by God, I don't want to say that sentence ever again. All right. Thank you for listening for another week on the Union Jackoff. I love you, jerk-offs. You're doing great. Please get around us on Twitter at the Union Jackoff. You can email theunionjackoff@gmail.com. Or you can check out my comedy special, still streaming on Amazon Prime, Daniel Muggleton, Let's Never Hang Out. It's free. If you got Amazon Prime, you can check it out. And if you do, please get in touch. Say if you liked it, you didn't like it, leave a review, all that good stuff. All right. This has been a big app. It's been a long app. I love you, and I'll catch you next week. Cheers, mates. Have a good one.